creates a master page or template that all of the pages on the website will have. So let's say here it's actually my masthead across all the pages on the website. So this header section, this masthead section, will be the same for every single page on this website. So if we type in, well, let's see, this is a my website, and then let's see, this is, we can just change the text on this too to say, this is my website. Okay, something like that. So we save. One thing you'll learn as you go along, save early and often. Of course, we always say that. See, in here it'll tell you there's 8 files. Really, when it says 8 files, really what it's saying is 8 pages attached to this master web template. And I say, yes, I want to change it. So now it's updated all of them across the website. So let's go back here to the default home page. And you can't see me do this, but I'm pressing F12. But I can also go over here and let's say I want to preview in browser. Just let's take a look. It says change. It'll automatically save my changes for me. So now what it's doing is giving me a preview of what the website looks like. So okay, we see here this is default HTML. This is that home page that we first went to. And now there's the template section that I changed. So now we have home, and as you can see, this is a fully functioning website. News, calendar, photo gallery, links, FAQ, and contact. So that's, you see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is an 8-page website. So we go back to home. Now you notice as I click on these, it says default up there. I'll talk a little bit about that in a minute here. But this is basically a rough sketch of how the website works. So this is the same on all the pages. See where it says my website? The same, the same, the same, the same. Because this is drawing from the dynamic web template. So it's the same across all of, and the same on the footer too, right? So no matter what page I go to, that heading is going to be the same because it's being drawn from the dynamic web template. So any change, you can just close out of this. Any change that I make on the dynamic web template transfers over to my 8 other pages. So if I decide later I don't like the way something looks, I can just go into here and change it across all 8 pages. I don't have to go into each page. So this is a tremendous time saver. It's really awesome. So basically what we have is a 8-page website, fully functioning. The only thing we need to do is adjust the content to what we want. So let's say I'm pretty happy with all these categories here, but let's say I really don't want a calendar. So what I can do is I come over here to calendar, and the first thing I want to do is, let's say I really want a blog. So rather than calling this default because it's kind of confusing, we can rename this by right-clicking. We're just going to call this, we're going to change this page to blog. So we'll go blog, B-L-O-G. We're going to change that page. It's saying that there's 8 pages that have hyperlinks. Do we want me to change it to this new name? And I say yes. And we're actually on the calendar page now, right? So, but what I'm doing is I'm changing all of the content to match whatever I want to call it. So I want a blog page instead of a calendar page. So I go in and I change the name of the folder. I changed, so it drops down here after I do that. I changed the name of the folder. I changed the name of the blog. Now it can be a little tricky because while I've changed the folders behind the scenes, I haven't changed the name here on the actual page. So then I just go in here. It's not a calendar anymore. It's my blog. And see, then I can just start writing my blog. So now I've got a blog page instead of a calendar page. So you go through this and do this with every page. You just change the names, you change the content to match whatever you want. And there's one thing I need to change here is now it says calendar here. Well, that's not quite what I want. So I need to change the name of that. So where would I change that at? Well, I would go to my template. I go up here. It's as simple as this. And I'll just type in blog. Like that. Now I've renamed that. Now there's also a footer section down here. There should be. Oh, this is the footer section right here. It's actually... So we come here to calendar. One thing I want to point out is I'm in the design view right now. If you come down here on the bottom, you've got the design view, the split view, and the code view. So the design is somewhat helpful, but the best view is probably the split view, because not only can you can just type in the content as you want, but you don't really know what's happening on the back end on the code side. So here it shows you the code. So here you can see where my cursor is in calendar, right? Well, and there it is right there in the code. So all I want to do is change this word to say blog, right? So I just have to be a little careful that I don't change anything other than just that text. So you can change it here in design view, or you can change it in the code view. It's actually cleaner to change it in the code view, because you can see exactly what you're changing and make sure that you're not actually deleting some code. Sometimes when you edit in the design view, you can actually end up deleting code because you're not really sure where your cursor is. So I type in blog here. And this is actually a really great way to learn how the whole thing works, because you can see how what the code is behind the design. And so now that I made that change here, it won't show in design view until I save it. So that's why it's good to save early and often. So yes. Now it's asking me yes, yes, yes. Okay. So now you see I've changed the page to blog and up here, and I did that through the code view. So now let's go back to the home page, the default page, and you see we've got a blog page now. Let's check this out. We hit F12. Yes, it'll automatically save stuff for us, yes. So let's see what we've done so far. So far we've done a change to the template, which cuts across all 8 pages. Then we added a new page, renamed everything, and called it blog instead of calendar. Remember that was calendar. Now let's see, I think we might need to refresh this. I think... Why, no, I have to double check, why is that still showing calendar? Let's see. Blog, 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 blog. That's interesting. So let's go back and see why that didn't change. Let's go back and open up our blog page and see. I notice, here we go. That's pretty weird. Let's see. Let's go here. It says blog here. Not clear why that's not showing. This kind of stuff happens, you know, when you play around with websites. Maybe it didn't get saved, so let's save it. You sometimes just learn by trial and error and playing along. So here we go. So here's, let's check and see. There's blog, blog, blog. So remember how that used to say calendar? Well, it wasn't saved, and that was the problem there. So let me show you one more thing before we kind of wrap this up. So this is all in the, this hasn't been uploaded to the server. This is just in the preview section of Expression Web. So you can see we can go into any page, like let's say news. We'd like this news category. We can just add our content, whatever we want, and we just rename the folders and the pages, and we go into, as we customize